Hi guys, welcome to today's video, which possibly isn't the happiest thing you could ever talk about, but I think it's something that everybody goes through once, twice, a million times in their life. So something that I really want to talk about today, really wanted to talk about, is the fact that I have been through a breakup. I've just finished a 19-month relationship. I want to kind of share how I've got through this to help others, to show that we are all human. I don't know really where my head is at entirely at the moment. I've been through a lot of emotions in a very short space of time, and I just want people to know that it's entirely normal to feel like after a breakup. So I'll share very honestly, as always, my side of how I have coped, and hopefully you may find some common ground here. It wasn't my choice to end the relationship, but I did see and understand that it wasn't the type of relationship that I was comfortable with. I think when you meet somebody, there's this whole kind of bravado where people put on their best self, but actually when they get to know you and they let their guards down, you realise the guy I've been dating isn't the guy that I met. And I think there's two very conflicting, contrasting people. When I date, I am literally, as you see me, unashamedly myself. I don't try to pretend to be something I'm not. I don't try to mislead people. I just say it as it is and wear my heart on my sleeve. So when I started dating in my relationship, I had been through a very tough time in the past with relationships with partners. I was a victim of domestic abuse. So I had very low self-esteem. I wasn't used to compliments, more criticism. And I was used to putting up, being treated badly and expecting to be treated badly. So whenever anybody was nice to me, I was like, oh my God, I don't deserve this. Like, you're being nice. Like, oh, wow. And it could be like picking a daisy for me. And I would literally be like, oh my gosh. Whereas other people might be like, well, where's the bouquet? Why just a daisy? So, my idea of what was normal in a relationship was very different, possibly to other girls or other guys would expect when dating. I have very low expectations, and I was used to having to do everything for very little in return. So I am a giver, I always have been. I think there are lots of people in life that will either give or take. It's very rare that you find somebody that has a very equal balance of the two. You're more swaying towards one or the other. You could still give to people, but most people seem to be takers. My mum always says to me that I am like somebody that likes to help lost causes. I will see injured animals or stray animals and I want to adopt them. I want to fix them. I see people struggling and I hurt for them. I take on their pain and their suffering and I try to make it better. Whereas she said, I need somebody that looks after me. But I'm so used to being a mum since the age of 19 that I have just devoted my life to helping and loving people. So I never expect somebody to be the provider for me because I've been so independent for so long. Maybe that's not a great thing. Maybe sometimes what people need in relationships is an equal balance, like give and take rather than give, never receive anything in return. So I know already that when I entered this relationship in particular, I was very damaged inside. I could not say the word love. I could not use the word boyfriend. And I separated myself from my emotions. And it took me around 8 or 9 months to actually feel love. I don't know how long it takes people to fall in love normally, whether it's love at first sight or, after a few weeks, you're like, oh my God, I really like this person. I like spending time with people, but actually where I'd been so damaged, I'd been cheated on, I'd been used, I'd been lied to and stolen from, I'd been a doormat, I'd been disrespected. I found it hard then to lower my walls and say, do you know what, I believe you, I trust you. But I also told myself at the age of 30 at the time, what are you doing? You need to let people in, you need to let people love you, because not everybody is a bad person. So I allowed this relationship, and it was the first time in several years that I'd actually called somebody my boyfriend, and that I used the L word. It was so hard for me to say it, so hard. But you know what? I meant it. I meant it. And I'm not the kind of person that would throw things around. I love you, I want to marry you. I would never say that if I didn't mean it. And I think in this world, a lot of people say they're in love, say that they're happy just to kind of get what they want. But actually, it's the actions that speak louder than words. For me, it took time for me to let my walls down and to trust. My trust was then broken quite badly, and I forgave. So again, that was another thing to overcome, to say, can I get past somebody hurting me when I have been numbing side for so long? You know, my heart switched off for several years. I didn't know if it would come back. I didn't know if I'd ever feel safe and be able to be in a long-term relationship. But I said, you know, for the sake of life, I'm going to go against my best judgment, and I am going to accept this. Would I have let my best friend be in a relationship like that? Never in a million years. Would I have let my daughter be treated like that? I'd have been there with a shotgun. Why did I allow myself to be treated the way that I knew was unacceptable? And I think it's because I felt love, that it blinded me. You know, when people say, why are you in an abusive relationship? Why are you with a cheater? Why are you with this? Why are you with that? And the women say, because I love him. And you're like, oh God, like, wake up and smell the coffee. You know, but I was that woman. I was that woman. And I mean, I have nothing that I can say or do to ever justify being treated badly. And I know that the reason that I accepted that was because I had very low expectations, because I was such a giver. And also, when you see somebody struggling in life and you have a contented life, you then feel that need to love and protect them, to say, I know that you're struggling, let me be there for you. And then when somebody changes how they are with you, when they become negative or critical or obnoxious or purposely disagreeing with you and seeing it only from their side, you make allowances, because you say, well, they've had a hard day. They don't mean to be snappy with me or to be a little bit critical or to make me feel small, because they're having a hard day. And if they hadn't have had that hard day, they would have been happy-go-lucky. So I can see that they're going through a tough time. I will accept that this is impacting how they are now treating me. But when a tough time lasts several months, you then have to say, is this how it's always going to be? You know, it's very rare in life, out of billions of people, 7 billion people, that you are going to meet that one person that you spend the rest of your life with. I think, what is the likelihood of meeting your soulmate? You know, because so many couples argue, distrust, cheat, lie, steal, burden one another. But to the outside world, you're like, what a happy, lovely couple. You know, so you have this false ideal automatically there that everybody is happy and you're not. But you should only judge your relationship on who the two of you are as individuals. And if that relationship, which is pretty amazing, makes you so happy but then starts to take a dark twist, you can't make allowances. You can't say, as I've always done, it's okay. I can see that you're hurting and I know that you don't mean to be nasty. I'm here for you. You actually need to say, don't treat me this way. I deserve better than this. And it's not acceptable behaviour. And I think that's where I go wrong. I allow the small things, and the small things very quickly become very big things. And I shouldn't have allowed any of that. I should have just said, I should have stamped it out. I should have nipped it in the bud and not allowed it to progress to the level that it did. After this breakup, I was kept in limbo for a period of time. And I'm not the kind of person that can deal with, oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm kind of logical in life. I want to know where I stand, and I think I deserve to know where I stand, rather than somebody just packing a bag and running off and then not answering the phone and then turning up 5 days later and acting like it's okay and then disappearing again and getting mad at everything. You know, you want to say, well, you've gone, you're gone, not come back when you feel like it, have a cup of tea, treat me like... So I needed that understanding of, what are you doing? And I didn't get that understanding. It was very much out of my hands. And because of that, it literally wiped me out. I was an emotional wreck. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't think straight. I was like a zombie. I was tortured, mentally and emotionally tortured. And I understand that, you know, everybody deals with things in their own time. And if you're going through hard times, you're probably not thinking of other people. You're probably not saying, you know, I'm suffering, let me worry about what my auntie thinks of this, because you're very much tunnel vision in your own problems. So I understand that. I know that there is a contributing factor that makes the situation harder. But being a partner to somebody struggling, I tried everything to make allowances and to be as supportive and as nurturing and loving and safe as possible, to say, you're okay, I'll help you through this. But sometimes people need to push their own self-destruct buttons, and they need to say, do you know what? I'm not good for anyone like this. I need to be on my own. And that is ultimately what happened. You know, I'm like the captain of the Titanic. I would have gone down with the ship because it's my responsibility. I would not have walked away. But I wish I had walked away a very long time ago. And the thought had crossed my mind multiple times. I just didn't act on it, because at the end of the day, I still felt that I could make a difference, that I could help and save something that couldn't actually be saved. During this time of limbo, where I had no input, I had no choice or answers, I was left hanging, you know, maybe not. And I was like, well, am I single? Am I in a relationship? Can this be fixed? Can we work through it? What do you need? What do you expect of me? And the answers just weren't there. It was very not able to have an honest conversation, a heart-to-heart adult conversation. That left me kind of in a tiz. I cried for days and days. I lost 1/2 stone in weight, which was, I mean, a good thing because it's summer, but I wish I didn't have to do it that way. My appetite was non-existent. I would go to eat food and I'd be like, I would feel sick eating. I didn't even feel hungry. I felt hollow. I felt numb. I was aching, like my heart wanted to explode. My eyes eventually ran out of tears, which was a good thing. But you know, for my face to be swollen from crying, my nose to be blocked, to have not slept at night, so I had like bags under my eyes, I was feeling faint, I was hot, I was bumping into things, I was like, oh, it's just torment. But then after that, you know, when I found this closure, this massive sense of peace that just washed over me. And it was something that I had craved for so long. I had just needed to know where I stood, rather than taking shots constantly, you know, take all the pain and all the suffering, and to feel unloved, to feel criticized and disrespected for such a long time was a hard thing to deal with. And for that to be over, I was like, oh. And after that, I was then able to have a conversation, an adult conversation, without being snapped at, because the stress of being in a difficult relationship was over. And we actually got on really well. It was lovely. It was just normal. It was kind of how we were before the decline. And it made me feel good to forgive. I accept that you're going through a hard time, but you shouldn't have treated me that way. I forgive you for it. You know, I probably haven't been perfect. I'm quite a ditzy kind of person. You know, I would never be unfaithful in a relationship, and I would never purposely hurt anyone, whereas other people feel that they can, or that they can cover up things like that. And I just think, well, if you ever truly love someone, you wouldn't do that in the first place. Very different kind of morals. And when two people meet and somebody pretends to be something they're not, and the other person is just continuously themselves, there's going to be a point where you let the mask slip, and it becomes what it really is. And that's what's happened. So I now have this sense of, okay, I don't have this weight on me. I don't have this negativity in my life, which is priceless. I mean, I started smiling again because I didn't have that anxiousness, that nervousness that whatever I say or do is going to be wrong. You know, I actually thought, I can do what I want now. I can speak to people. I can see my friends again. I can lead life being me without being criticised or without being told off. So, you know, that's such an amazing concept, and I don't think people appreciate that enough in relationships. I think when you date, you very much lose yourself to the other person, and when that person becomes your everything, what makes you you goes out the window because you tried to please them. It shouldn't be about losing yourself. It should be about somebody accepting you for yourself, and if they don't, they probably never will. It's that kind of honeymoon period of several months, perhaps at the start of a relationship, where you know, I either really love this person for exactly who they are, or they grind on my gears. You know, so you either stay together or you say it's worn off and the magic's not there. I think to spend 19 months of a relationship never changing, continuously being the kind, uplifting, happy person, but taking on all this negativity suddenly, it was alarm bells that I ignored, and I shouldn't have. And I blame myself for that, because I'm a grown-ass woman and I should have ran away. I should have got out of there rather than accepting less than I deserved. Just days after, I no longer feel sad about it. You know, I was looking at families in the park and I was like, got into my car and there was like songs on the radio, like love songs, and I was like, sobbing mess, like literally everywhere I went. So I was like, we used to eat here, we used to go to the gym here, oh, this is the house that you stayed in, like, you know, like, all those things were like suffocating me. And now I look at it and I'm like, oh, I remember when we did that. It doesn't give me anything more than just a fond memory, which is nice because the pain is gone. And I think when you know that you have come out of a bad situation, it's like the rain clouds have gone and the sun is out. And even though you're in the same environment, with that person being gone, you're a lot happier. I then had like this moment where relief washed over me. And then I was like, oh my God, hold on a minute. It's been like nearly 2 years since I last dated. 2 years older than I was last time I was single. And I have 2 children. I'm a single mum with responsibility, with a big life, and I'm no longer blonde. Having spent the majority of my life as a blonde, I think because I was struggling to accept the negativity, I felt I needed a change, and I changed my hair. You know, it's that kind of thing that when you go through a bad time, most women like cut their hair have a new hairstyle, go for a new hair color, buy a new dress. Like, you do something to make yourself feel better. I'm now 31 and a half, I have 2 children, and I've gone from blonde to redhead. So I thought, you know what, it's gonna be harder than dating 2 years ago because I've been hurt again and I'm older. And I'm not blonde anymore, and everybody loves a blonde. Goalposts have moved, and I think the world has become more increasingly disposable. Relationships are so tempted and tested by people online, sliding into your DMs, you know, hookup apps, all these different things that torture happy couples. And I think for somebody to even get married these days seems so rare. To be happily married, probably non-existent. For people to be married for 20 years and then split up or have an affair, it's just becoming the norm. Broken families and broken homes, and people just running out and giving up, you know, just so they can fulfill their own desires and greed and wants, irrespective of their partner. I'm not a man hater, but I am quite apprehensive. I don't have faith in love as I once did. It took a long time for me to wake my heart up again, several years, and now I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna put it in a little box, keep it safe, and maybe not use it for a while. So yeah, I was expecting from having a lack of affection, from having a lack of compliments, had a bit low self-esteem from this relationship, that everybody else would kind of have the same opinion of me. Oh my God, how wrong I was, because everybody has been amazing to me, and I needed that. I needed to make eye contact with people again. I needed to have conversations again. I needed to go on dates. Like, I needed to feel like an attractive young woman, because I'm 31 and a half, I'm not 80. And just because somebody didn't see me, somebody didn't see the beauty in me or the wonderfulness. You know, I'm not bigging myself up here, I don't think I'm God's gift, but because somebody failed to see all the good parts of me, they just focused on the things they didn't like, doesn't mean that I'm just all the things they don't like. I'm not right for them, but I am still right for the right person. And for people to compliment me and to flirt with me and to ask me out, it's given me face ache, because I didn't think people would ever see me that way. I didn't think anybody else could if my own partner couldn't. So yeah, it's safe to say that I am a woman reborn, and I am very thankful for that. I have had a second chance to be treated how I should be treated, and I am literally taking that with both hands. So I just wanted to say to everybody that if you are going through a hard time in a relationship, if you've just had a breakup, if you're just struggling in general, don't lose yourself for other people, because if you have to do that, then they're not the right people for you. And they always say one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I think that's very much true. If you are around the wrong type of people with the wrong energy and the wrong motives and incentives in life, it will only ever bring you down. And actually, where you find peace is where people are entirely themselves, not pretend to be something they're not. If two souls can be entirely open and honest, that's where you get a lifetime of love and happiness. People are scared to be themselves. I will always be myself. And I've learned from this to never allow somebody to dull my shine. So I highly recommend, if you are going through a similar situation, that you listen to yourself, you listen to that voice in your head, in your gut, in your heart. If something's not right, listen to it, because it's the advice you would give your friends. So value yourself enough as a person to take your own advice. Make time to do the things that you love. Have your own life, have your own friends, and don't let somebody take that from you. Don't let somebody make you feel bad that other people are in your life, because you deserve to have friends. You deserve to have a social life. You deserve to do the things that make you happy. And if that doesn't make the other person happy, keep it separate. You know, say, I'm going to have X amount of time each week to do the things that I need to do to make me feel like me. the things that uplift me, the things that bring me joy. And if you join me on it and you love it, that's great. You know, do that as a couple. But if somebody says, I don't like this, I don't want to do this, don't be a part of it. You do you and I'll do me. And then we have our together time that we both love. But when it becomes negative and you have separated those two different times, that's when you kind of have to listen to your inner self and say, this isn't right, and I'm papering over the cracks, and I'm trying to hold on to the good times. Yes, the good times are still there, but if the bad times outweigh the good times, it sums it up. Get out. Get out. It's summertime. I'm in some pretty good shape right now. I have some very lovely people in my life, and I am wholeheartedly looking forward to finding out what it's all about. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I have been going through difficult times. I have kept that separate from the people around me, and then when I told them about it, they've been like, why on earth did you think that was normal? You know what it's like when you're trying to save something. You make allowances and you cover up things that people are doing wrong to you so that other people don't judge them. You know, I have no hard feelings about the relationship. It ended actually on very good terms, and I was able to forgive and forget. And likewise, I wish all of the people that I've ever been in my life the best of luck and true love and happiness, because it's there, and if it's not with me, then it's with somebody that they will love and that they will feel that way. And when you feel that way, you won't treat people badly. You won't do these things that upset others. So I just want to say thank you all for watching. Love life, love people, be kind and put good karma into the world. The right person will come along and adore you for it and spend the rest of their life with you. So anyway guys, until next time, take care and love life. It's such a blessing. I will see you all soon. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, write me a comment, and keep watching for more.